It is estimated that around 40% of the fish caught by humans in the ocean are actually scavenged. But have you ever wondered who else is scavenging our oceans? Today, we will explore some of the most disgusting, horrifying, and awesome scavengers of the ocean. Welcome back, everyone, to my channel. Here today, we will look at some of the scavengers of the ocean. Before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future videos. And with that said, let's take a deep dive into the ocean. Number 10, crabs. Most crabs are bottom feeders, meaning they live on the ocean floor. They play an important role in the ecosystem because they clean up dead fish and other detritus that could pollute the water. There are different types of crabs, such as the Dungeness crab and the hermit crab. These scavengers are mainly found along the rocky parts of the ocean where they can hide during low tide. They will use their large claws to break down the body of the dead animal and eat its insides. Crabs are primarily nocturnal scavengers, but sometimes you can see them during the day searching for food. Even though crabs are scavengers, sometimes they might kill other animals before eating them. This mostly happens when they are fighting over food or mating. Number 9, sea cucumbers. Some people might think that sea cucumbers are plants, but in fact they are animals. These creatures have no bones, so their bodies are very squishy. To move around, they basically use their tube feet to crawl along the seafloor. Sea cucumbers are known as vacuum cleaners of the seafloor because they can suck organic matter through their anus. Many sea cucumber species have a retractable tentacle crown which they use to search for food and breathe. Sea cucumbers are also scavengers that help keep the ocean clean. Number 8, hagfish. There are around 250 species of hagfish living in the world's oceans. As scavengers, these fish feed on dead whales, seals, birds, and other marine life. They have long, slender bodies covered in slime. Their skin has no scales or bones, making them slimy to the touch. Hagfish are usually pinkish or grayish in color, but the slime they produce can turn green or blue. One of the ways hagfishes find dead animals is by detecting the smell of blood in the water. When they come across a dead animal, they release a slime that helps them burrow into the carcass. The hagfish has 1 heart and 8 kidneys that help it excrete waste. Hagfish can grow up to 1 meter long. Unlike other fish, hagfish do not have jaws, so instead they have a big mouth with teeth that they use to tear apart dead animals. They have also been known to tie themselves into knots to clean off slime and get a better grip on food. 7. Giant isopods. Giant isopods are scavengers that live in the deep seas all over the world. These crustaceans can be found at depths of more than 2,000 meters below the ocean's surface. They are related to the common woodlouse that you might see in your garden. However, giant isopods are much bigger than their land-dwelling relatives. Giant isopods are detritivores, meaning that they feed on dead and decaying plant and animal matter. They will often eat sunken carcasses. Like many other scavengers, giant isopods are opportunistic feeders, meaning that they will eat anything that comes along. Giant isopods live in areas with little to no light, so they rely on their sense of touch and smell to find food. 6. Seagulls and shorebirds. If you visit the beach, you have probably seen seagulls looking for food. Sometimes they even steal food from beachgoers. But these birds are actually scavengers, feeding mainly on fish remains, squid, crustaceans, and other marine life that they find on the shore. Some of the most common seagulls include herring, gulls, great black-backed gulls, and laughing gulls. They often work together to isolate and capture their prey. Herring gulls are especially known to be aggressive and will attack other seagulls to take their food. Besides seagulls, there are other shorebirds that are also scavengers. For example, there is the sanderling, which is a small bird that feeds on invertebrates near the shoreline. Another example is the dunlin, which is a small shorebird that feeds on worms and mollusks. Number 5, sharks. As we mentioned before, some animals are opportunistic feeders, meaning that they will eat both dead and alive animals. An example of a scavenging shark is the tiger shark. There are around 350 species of sharks living in the world's oceans. They can be found in all the world's oceans, from the Arctic to the Antarctic. Tiger sharks are known to be one of the largest predatory sharks, only second to the whale shark. They are nicknamed the garbage cans of the sea because they eat almost anything, including dead animals. In some cases, they have even eaten alligators. Tiger sharks are opportunistic hunters, but sometimes they are too late to catch fish. So instead, they have to scavenge the dead fish remains. Number 4, starfish. Starfish are actually not fish, but they are a type of echinoderm. They are mostly found in the shallow waters of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. There are more than 2,000 species of starfish living in the world's oceans. Some species of starfish are predators, but others are scavengers. Scavenging starfish feed on decomposing organisms and detritus. For example, the sunflower starfish feeds on mussels and clams. The way they do this is by using their powerful stomachs to digest the animals. Starfish have no teeth, so to eat they basically engulf their prey whole. Then they secrete enzymes that digest the soft tissues of their prey. After that, they absorb the nutrition from their meal. One interesting thing about starfish is that they have no brain. Instead, they have a nerve ring that surrounds their mouth. This helps them detect chemicals in the water and respond to stimuli. 3. Amphipods. Amphipods are tiny crustaceans that live in both salt and freshwater. However, there are some amphipod species that live in the ocean. These animals are scavengers that feed on dead whales. An example of an oceanic amphipod is the Amphipthyris copi. When a whale dies and sinks, its corpse becomes a source of food for many scavengers. First, the whale falls to the seafloor, then amphipods swarm the corpse. They will use their large mandibles to rip apart chunks of blubber. After a few days, the whale carcass is completely stripped of its fat and meat. Next, the seafloor around the whale is cleared of debris. The whole process takes around 2 weeks. Once the scavengers are done with the whale, the skeleton is left behind. Number 2, snails and whelks. They have a shell that protects them from predators. Also, their hard shells make them unable to be flexible, so they must use their foot to crawl around. Snails and whelks have a tongue called a radula that they use to scrape dead organic matter. They are mostly found in the ocean, but there are some species that live on land. One example of a scavenging snail is the olive sea eagle. It is a large sea snail that lives in the eastern Atlantic Ocean. Olive sea eagles feed on dead animals and algae. Number 1, octopuses. If you watch our channel regularly, then you have probably heard about octopuses. We talk about them a lot because they are just so fascinating. Octopuses are also known to be smart animals, but that's not why we included them in this list. Octopuses are scavengers. A study conducted in South Africa revealed that octopuses were attracted to the scent of decaying flesh. Researchers used a field experiment to investigate how octopuses react to the scent of decaying flesh. They found out that octopuses were willing to travel long distances to reach a dead animal. Basically, if an octopus finds a dead animal, it will most likely try to eat it. Now for the fun facts. Fact number 1, you know those giant knots that you see on ropes? Well, it turns out hagfish are the ones that make them. While they are burrowing inside a dead animal, they leave a mucus trail behind. Sometimes this mucus trail ends up forming giant knots. Fact number 2, when a whale dies and sinks, it creates what is called a whale fall. These whale falls become ecosystems of their own. First, scavengers such as sharks and hagfish will eat the whale. Then crustaceans and worms will start to appear. And finally, bacteria and fungi start to decompose the whale's skeleton. This whole process can take decades. Fact number 3, tiger sharks have a special adaptation that allows them to survive on rotten meat. Their stomachs are highly acidic, so they can digest the rotting meat without getting sick. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and share. And remember to subscribe so you never miss any of our amazing videos. See you next time.